No, you can't hear me. All right, okay. I don't know what. Honestly, I've tried everything to try and get this thing to work. But hello, and welcome back to Real World Magic, where we make your life more magical. Hi, Jelly Duck. Hi, Honey Hin Hitet. I can't ever get your name all in one go. I do try. Hello, Chivalrous Tube, and yeah, I'm really sorry about the audio. I don't know what's going on with my setup. I've tried it so many times, and honestly, Chivalrous Tube will actually attest to this. He's one of my patrons, so he gets all this private stuff. Yeah, the magic of mute. Yeah, tell me about it, mate. It's driving me mad. But yeah, he's one of my patrons, and he goes on like private live streams and things like that. And we spent, 2 hours trying to work out how the bloody thing should work, and it just didn't. And finally, I think I got it sorted. I tried it. Yes, so the live stream on Saturday, Sunday. This is the Saturday one. There will be one on Sunday. I don't always do one on Saturday, but I really wanted to do this. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to get some watch time. And I'm sure you guys are probably going to be interested in me finishing this thing off. Because, yeah, on Saturday last week, I made this pink turd, the Philosopher's Stone. It will be a Philosopher's Stone, I promise you. And so I wanted to finish this off because I don't like sort of leaving it unfinished. So this is quite a bit later than I planned. Originally I planned it for 10 o'clock to finish at 11? Was that? No, 11, finishing at 12. So I'm not very late, but I try to be punctual with these things. I tried it first, it didn't work. Then it was on unlisted. So everything went wrong today. This is the theme with Real World Magic. I don't know. It must be cursed. I reckon Voldemort's got his wand out. No, Potter. I don't know. Whatever. Can you even see that? Probably not. It is a wand. It was a gag. All right, it died. Never mind. Let's move on, shall we? So today we're going to be making the Philosopher's Stone. I've already done the first part of it. This is the sculpt that we did with Super Sculpey. If I'm looking over here, by the way, it's because that's where my monitor is and I want to make sure that you're in shot. And I'm just going to put that down there. Hopefully I'll remember which orientation that goes in, because otherwise it'll be like a jigsaw. Chivalrous 2 Tube. I'm here for the watch time. Cool. I'm not going to complain. This is the rubber mould. It's actually fairly thick, so we do have a reasonable amount of that. But also, these are the registration marks. If you remember, I pressed it into the monster clay just so that we got something to register. That will make much more sense once it's all set the second time with my demoulding video. So this will be part 2 of a 3-part series, I guess. Now this is going to be quite fun because, as you may have gathered already, I'm in my dungeon, which effectively means I'm in front of a computer, and I've got a silicone spray here. I'm just going to put that back in. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, there you go. Hey, first time. It's like a jigsaw puzzle if you get it the wrong way around, trust me, because I pulled it out and I was like, oh, that's really cool, and then I forgot which orientation it was, and I was like, nah. I was like a 3-year-old trying to put a square peg in a round hole. So yes, tomorrow you were live. Yeah, tomorrow I will be live as well at 6 p.m. And that will be animating live. So have a little think, because I don't know whether you've seen on this channel before, we've got how to make an elephant disappear. And I think it's really funny. But what I would really like... Cover my keyboard, really? Have I? Okay. Yeah. What I would really like is for the people in the chat to suggest a way of making the elephant disappear. I'm going to draw it and animate it live, and it should be a bit of a laugh, hopefully. And I would hope it won't take any more than an hour. I hope. I do have the introduction bit. Yeah, if I'm going to spray stuff, cover the keyboard, got it. So yeah, so I've got all of the stuff I need. And if you are following along at home, hopefully you're not in front of a computer following along at home, that would be daft. But here's the silicone spray. It says silicone spray, which does what it says in the tin. It says for home and industry, so hopefully that'll do the thing. It's basically a release agent. So I'll spray all of that onto the mould itself, so that when it comes to demoulding or taking the mould around the mould off, or the frame around the mould, it should come off fairly easily. And also we want to separate the two halves of the mould because obviously it's a two-part mould. I've also got some monster clay here which I did soften in the microwave earlier. Hopefully it's starting to go a little bit hard, so I'm going to have to do this probably now. I've also got some wood for a frame, and it's quite a long bit of wood. And so I have a saw as well. Hopefully that's okay. I'm going to have to turn the light down. Alexa, office main light 20%.
I don't know that one.
Of course she doesn't know that. Why would she know that? Honestly. Alexa, office main light 20%.
Okay.
There we go, and it's gone. Yeah. I thought it was like a gremlin or something. It's kind of still there. Is it still there? I don't know. Anyway, so I've got the saw, I've got the silicon base, I've also got the catalyst, which is just here. I've got mixing stuff, mixing bowls, sticks. I've got a hot glue gun. So yeah, I think this time around I've got everything. The other thing I wanted to do as well, because in order to show you what it's like to demold stuff, and I'm just going to do this right now. In order to show you what it's like to demold things, I have this play button, which I'm going to make live. And I'm going to do that first, and then pour the silicone over the top of it. And hopefully, by the end of this live stream, I may be able to demold it. In all fairness, I probably won't. And the reason for that is because I don't know whether it's going to be hard enough. But we'll give it a go. And that wasn't a euphemism. So, okay. How many people have we got in the chat at the moment? I just want to have a quick ganders. It should tell me, but I don't think it does. That's rude. 3 people watching now. I don't know who you are, but thank you for coming on. So what I'm going to do here with the monster clay, first of all, is kind of make a little plug. Everything is phallic on this, by the way. Everything. So this little plug is kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a funnel, I guess. So we're going to need to make it in a funnel shape, and then we're going to stick it to the Philosopher's Stone itself. Now this needs to be fairly smooth, because what we want to do is to unplug this eventually from the silicone itself, which should be fairly easy because it is oil based. Hi, you're back. Cool. So because this is oil based, it should be fairly easy to remove it from the silicone in a moment. But what we're going to try and do, we're not going to do it with the play button, and I'll show you why in a moment, but because the Philosopher's Stone is a 2-part mould, we're going to have to stick this onto the flat side of the Philosopher's Stone, which is why we needed that flat side in the previous video. So I'm going to just stick that on, hopefully, just like that. Now it's not going to be terribly pretty, but it should at least hold. I hope. I really hope. You know what? That's shush. It's not gonna hold. It's really not gonna hold. So I'm gonna have to start jazzing and imagine a different way of doing this. I'm also going to put my phone on silent because otherwise it'll interrupt me, just like it did earlier. Okay, what we're going to do first of all, I think, is just to mix up a batch of silicone and make this Google Play button. Not Google Play, YouTube Play. My wife's just said, am I sure I'm live? I'm pretty sure I'm live. Hello, Doggo and Dan, how you doing, man? That's my son, by the way. Right, let me just have a quick gander at how we're going to do this. So what we could do, I have the silicone here, and I have a mixing bowl here, and I'm just going to pour in. Now this is really messy to do in front of a computer, so please do wish me luck. God blimey. It's a child-proof lock. I'm 40 years old, what's going on? Right, let me in. So we're just going to pour that into there, and it's going to glob in. We're probably going to need a fair amount of this stuff. Now the thing that I have done with the... oh, that's satisfying to watch, isn't it? Oh, yes. Ooh. Gloopy. The thing that I have done... Hey, Charlie Montez, how you doing? Welcome back. So I'm guessing this time is probably better for some of you guys and probably worse for others, I guess. Oh, right. I've just added a bit of extra air into this mix, which is not what I wanted to do. But I guess we can get rid of that in a moment. Okay, hopefully that's going to be enough. I'm not sure it will be, but we'll see. Ooh. Is this satisfying to watch? Let me see if I can get a close-up of that without spilling it all over my computer keyboard. Yeah. I know some people really dig this stuff, so... Not silicon, you know, all the ASMR goopy gunk. There's a special name for that. I can't remember what it's called. It's like happy slap or I don't know, sloshing. Oh, right. Okay. Hopefully this is not going to spill. I might just have to hang up my headphones as well because I just know that this is going to go really badly wrong really quickly. So, oh dear. Okay. I actually have some tissue paper that my wonderful wife brought up during my live stream on Sunday. And I haven't tidied it away for a very good reason because I kind of need it and I knew I would. Okay, so if you've only just joined, we are sploshing. Yeah, I thought so. If you've only just joined, we are going to be making a Philosopher's Stone mould. It's part 2 of the mould, so it is going to be fun. We have wood. Giggity. We have a saw. We've got moulds and stuff as well. We've got a hot glue gun. I should really go down that side because then I'm off frame rather than just disappearing into the ether and ruining the illusion. Oh well, never mind. Right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do it! Yeah, baby! I'm going to put the... I've just turned my microphone off. Whoopsie daisy. I'm just going to have to rearrange a few bits and bobs because it's quite busy around here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to need is a catalyst. Now this catalyst here, this red thing, we might actually need a little bit more in order to make this properly work. But what we're going to do first of all is, I don't know if you can see all of the air bubbles in there. You probably can. I'm just going to pop them first. What I'd really, really like is a webcam that focuses on all of this sort of stuff so that you can see a different angle as well. Turtle says so. No. That's not cool. Right. I do not endorse the fonts. I think it's probably an automatic message, and I'm going to let you get away with it this once, but I might just delete further ones. Right. Whoa. So you pour in the catalyst like this. Now, thankfully, it is red, so you can see exactly what you're doing. And that's actually a bit full, so hopefully I'm not going to spill it everywhere. I'm going to take this really slow, guys. Yeah, I might actually just move the camera as well. Ooh. Oh, if I can. No, can I? Oh. There we go. It's not brilliant, is it? But in fact, you can't even see it. No, there it is. There it is. So what I need to do is to mix this up just so that it... I'm just going to position that back again because that didn't work at all. Okay. You know I'm not really in a dungeon, right? So hopefully I will be soon, though, at some point. It would be very, very nice to have my own little man-cavey space that I can call my own. I can turn effectively into this. That would be really cool. Okay, I'm just going to pour in more and more catalyst. And we're getting up to the brim right now. This is like catastrophe TV. So, oh dear, how do I... Forbidden strawberry smoothie. Yeah, you said last time it was like a strawberry cheesecake, and it does kind of look like that because all the red stuff sits on top. So you then need to mix it up. Now, I don't really want to whip it because otherwise I'm going to add too much air into the mix. But what we'll do, we'll mix it up very gently and scrape the sides as well to make sure it does grab as much of the silicon base, which is the white stuff, as possible. But at the moment it's kind of like, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like mixing water with glue. That's probably the closest approximation I can give. I'll see if I can do it up here. I mean, it may not be the wisest of moves, especially around my Stream Deck. I've got an Elgato Stream Deck Extreme, XL, and Elgato? I don't know. Ooh. And I don't want to get it over that because that will just ruin it completely. Well, it will ruin anything. Ruin my clothes, ruin whatever. So here's a little tip for you. Try and use a bigger pot if you can. Oh, bye Dan. Yeah, he never stays on long. He's always got stuff to do. I think Dan wants to host the show with me on Saturday next week. So yeah, it's going to be Saturday next week, not Sunday, because I'm going to be driving on Sunday, I would think. Not guaranteed yet, but probably. Okay, I'm going to put this down because I'm getting nervous and I probably need to go a little bit quicker. Okay. So once this is all done, it should look a fairly reddy colour. Not red actually, kind of fairly pinky colour. And the best way to gauge on this is either to measure it, which is what I really should have done, but I never do, because I've done quite a lot of mould making before. If anyone's seen my Twixter video, for example, I made the Twixter from scratch myself, because I'm very clever. I'm a clever boy. But yeah, I made the Twixter myself from taking a Twix and making a mould of it. And that was, I don't know, Laura will know this, 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, probably more actually. I can't even remember if we were married when that came out, probably. No, actually, I got a time hop today, and it was 3 years ago now that I was filming the advert for it, so it must have been 3 years ago. So we must have been married. No, we can't have been married because it's our 3rd anniversary in September. So yeah, okay. I guess we weren't married. There you go. So I've been doing it longer than I've been married to Laura. Okay, so now that that's pretty much fully mixed, then we take the mould box for the play button. Now, the reason I'm doing the play button first is because I wanted to kind of end on the Philosopher's Stone kind of thing, because that's a little bit more difficult. So we're going to take the play button like this, and it's already in a box. This was actually my magic trick box, so I'm sacrificing it just for you. Aren't you lucky? And I pour it into one corner. Whoa. And you just leave it just pouring into one corner. You do not move it around. That's one of the major mistakes of mould makers, apparently. So I try not to make it. Oh, it would be really, really good if I had a close-up of this. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, that's how close I'm doing it to my computer, guys. And when you get towards the end, you just scrape off the sides. Now, I know I did a 2-part mould making process in the last video, which I would normally recommend, highly recommend to anyone doing this. Yeah, it's black and white. I think the reason for that might be... Let me see if I can change that. 1 second. Webcam. Where's the blooming webcam gone? Yeah, that's just because of the green screen. I'm not going to be able to make any changes to that just because otherwise it will screw up my entire stream. Sorry. It's not actually black and white, believe it or not, but it's just massively desaturated. Okay, I think we're pretty much there with that now. I'm just going to scrape the bottom and try and mix that all in and then pour it in. Like I said, I'd normally recommend a 2-part mould making process to absolutely anyone doing this. However, unless of course you hate them, in which case don't recommend a 2-part mould making process. Yeah, the reason that I'm not doing it is because I don't have enough mixing bowls to do 2. So I'm just going to have to wing it and hope that that will work. Now that is pretty much done. We're sorted, and I'm going to pull up to here again. I'm ruining this illusion all over. I've gone black and white now. Ah, there we go. It's adjusting, sort of. Am I still grey? I am. I'm still grey. Oh man. Let's see if there's a bit of colour coming back. All right. So it might just be auto-adjusting. Right. I'm going to put this one down here on the floor. Don't panic. I don't have a carpet in this room yet. I will be, but not yet. So we don't have to worry too much about the floor. Now, that mould right here, because I didn't put the play button on anything, I didn't stick it down. Again, I would normally stick it down. Oh, my colour's coming back. Good, good. I would normally stick it down with like hot glue or something like that, but because it is a monster clay, it's oil-based, and I don't really want it to melt, because if you use hot glue on monster clay it will just turn into water and it'll just be rubbish. So that's not cool. Hello to my 5th person who's just joined. I didn't see you join. I don't know who you are, but hello to you anyway. Please do say something in the chat and then I'll go hi, and then we can have a nice old conflab. It'll be lovely, and it just won't be a oh, and they've gone again. All right, well I'll stop talking to you then. Up yours. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to spray. No, we're not. We're not going to do that yet. We are going to make a frame box for this. Now, I'm a little bit concerned doing this, if I'm completely honest, and I don't know quite what to do. I do have a plastic bag, which I'm going to use it as a base, and I'm going to stick the wood to that base, and hopefully it's going to work. I'm not convinced. Alright, wish me luck. Seriously, this isn't me acting. I'm actually quite concerned that it's all just going to go all over the floor, and but I am going to try it and see what happens. So, first things first, take the mould. I'm just going to take the Philosopher's Stone out and lay it in the right orientation, and I'm going to take the Philosopher's Stone mould and I'm going to work out on here. This is so not the right way of doing it. On here, where to cut. So I'm going to cut it to about here. Then we take the saw. Don't ever do this, by the way. Take that off. And then we can mark to about there. Okay, that's marked. Oh, it tastes horrible. So, next. Oh, hello. What have I just done? Just made a mess. Okay, next I'm going to saw this, which I really should have done beforehand, but I thought it'd be funnier to do it live. You don't believe I'm doing this. I actually am. I really am doing this. So yeah, there you go. Can you see that cut? It's brilliant. So I mean, I need to sort out this room anyway, really. So I'm just going to turn to the side. And let's sort this out. Oh boy! I should probably lube this up. Oh dear. One thing I need to make sure of is that we don't have dust in the mould, so I'm trying to do this as far away as possible. Of course, if you've got a jigsaw or electric saw, like a miter saw or something like that, that's absolutely fine. That's what I normally use. Okay. That's piece number one, and it's definitely not straight, but you know, it's fine. I'm going to then just mark out the second piece and the third and fourth using that. Now there's a really cool technique for doing this as well, and I'm going to stand up and use my actual desk, I think. But there's a really cool technique for doing this, and I'll show you that in just a second, where you don't need to measure them particularly accurately, which is a good thing for me, trust me. Oh, I'm sweating. Now the colour's come back. Everything amazing! Hello! That's a really cool name, I like that. Okay, so if you've only just joined, what a time to join! We are making a Philosopher's Stone, and we're making a Philosopher's Stone mould at the moment. Now what I'm going to do, this is the Philosopher's Stone, it's not a pink turd. I've made that joke several times, but it's still funny. What we're going to do, we're going to take this mould here, and we're effectively going to put another layer on top. So I'm just making up a mould box at the moment, and I really should have done this using a different technique, because I'm stressing out now. But it's funny, so whatever. Alright, about there. Using this technique, you don't actually have to worry too much about getting the measurement right, as long as it's roughly right, and it can be very, very rough as well. I'll show you why in a second. Cool, blimey. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I'm going to ruin the illusion now. Yeah, I'm not in a dungeon. I know. No, that's not working at all. Okay, let's just... There we go. Why didn't I get an electric saw? Whew. So, everything amazing. Tell us about yourself. I think I recognise that face. I'm sure I do. Great handle though. Yeah, this saw is going a bit rusty, so it was fine, but I'm storing it in the shed, which is probably not the best place for it. Oh, come on. One more. There we go, and it's crashed straight onto my foot. Lovely. Okay, I'm just going to put the green screen back a little bit, hopefully. Yeah, there you go, that's got rid of it. I had a little gremlin wiggling up there somewhere. Okay, flip that around to get a nice straight edge on one side anyway, even if I can't do the other. I'd always recommend taking a bit of time doing this, but I just want to get it done. You have a cabin in the garden that I really want to get carpeted this weekend. So I just wanted to get this done and do it quickly, which would have been a lot quicker doing it the proper way, but I thought, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to get it done, save a bit of time by doing it by hand. No, would have been much easier to get out the electric. I don't know why I didn't realise that. Oh well. Oh. I had a lovely shower this morning, and I'm going to need another one after this. I'm working really hard. Yeah, I am. Almost done. Almost done. Where's my mitre saw when I need it? Honestly. It's like I need to clamp it to my legs or something. You need a shower from watching this. You're doing the easy job. Oh, come on. I think I might need to buy a new saw, seriously, because this is ridiculous. Although I did insulate a whole cabin using just this saw. No, did I? No, I suppose I did use an electric for that at times. I used this saw on the making of Box of Ghosts video. So if anyone has seen that, that turned out awesome. Oh, right. Seriously, I'm dripping here. This is crazy. Okay, so we've got 4 roughly equal lengths, and there are splinters and stuff like that. Be careful, especially if you're a child. If you're a child, why are you watching this channel? This is not made for children. Copa. So, what we're going to do, we're going to glue these at roughly right angles. Not wrong angles. Whatever. What does that mean? It's colour through. Okay, right, what we're going to do, I am going to get, oh dear me, I'm going to get a base for it, which is here. Actually, I'm going to use this. It's a lovely piece of oak, which is definitely overkill. Definitely overkill. But I've not used this for anything yet. I'm going to do it on this side with the sticker, purely because if anything does stick to it and it kind of gets a bit ruined, it's not actually the end of the world. This is just an offcut from a shelf that we've got down in the kitchen I made myself. That's a little bit cracked anyway, so I'm okay with using it, it's fine. And actually that'll save me a job. So next thing we're going to do is to plug this little baby in just over here and let it warm up. And we've got a nice little glue stick just there, so hopefully it'll do the job. Battery is low. Oh man. Whew. Right, I'm going to plug all that in and plop that just there. Okay, let's go back to the chat. So, hello everybody. Now, if you're just joining, we are making a Philosopher's Stone. It currently looks like this, like a big pink poo. It's all kind of the same colour, but it will look, honestly, it will look red eventually. At the moment, what we're going to do is to cover over this with another mould, and we're going to have this little piece on top, just like that, which will effectively be like a like a pouring spout. Now what I could have done, I suppose, is to make this out of polymer clay and then stick it on. I didn't do that. I tried to use monster clay in order to get it to stick onto this. I don't quite know what I'm going to do. So I might need to glue something like a pencil onto it. I'll kind of see how that goes, but I'm going to try not to do that. I don't quite know how I'm going to do it yet, but maybe, in fact, actually no, what we could do, we could just take this plug, and I'm going to try this instead. It might work. If I warm it up a little bit, because the thing about monster clay is because it's an oil-based clay, it warms up in your hands, in theory. You can also use the microwave as well. So I'm going to try to get all friendly with it. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit softer. Not great, but not terrible. I've actually got some DIY kind of music. It's a bit like Tony Hart stuff. Okay, I think what I'm going to do instead is to do this. So I don't know whether you can see, but it's basically like a chili pepper kind of shape. And I'm just going to wedge that under there and then press that in. And in theory, yeah, that doesn't work either. Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'm going to need to do a plan B, I think. And I'm really going to start jazzing now, because I don't really know what I'm going to do. I think what I'm probably going to try, let's take the base and let's adjust the camera a little bit so that you can see what I'm actually doing. Whew. Right, I am going to take the paintbrush. One moment, please. Okay. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to take the paintbrush, like that, and I'm going to, first of all, let's start by sticking all these onto the mould itself. So is that going to be warm enough? I did turn it on, so that's a good start. No, it's warming up, but it's not quite there yet. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to put this mould up against the wood, and I'm just going to mark out roughly where we're going to go with it. So these, because they're sort of right angles, that's okay. That is not a right angle, that is a wrong angle. But don't panic, I think I can probably get away with it. I hope I can probably get away with it. Yeah, I can. So I'm going to use that, and then all you do is just squeeze it in at the sides there. This I might just need to take off. Okay. Okay. It's fine that fell, by the way. Don't panic about that, because it only fell onto my lap. And also, we're not quite ready to do this yet. Almost, but not quite. Okay, so that's roughly what we're going to do. And then we're going to need a pouring spout, which is going to go like right there. So I'm going to glue the brush onto the Philosopher's Stone. And it's just going to stick up in the air like that. So that'll be fun. Hopefully that'll work. I don't know. Okay, back to me, because I'm the star of the show, not my Philosopher's Stone, and certainly not my sweat. He has the Philosopher's Stone, he's immortal now. Well, yeah. I know, it goes black and white, and I think the reason is that it's like a auto-adjust thing, because there's not very much light down here. Maybe I should... No. Maybe not. Although I've got more colour now, so that's cool. Right, so I'm just going to wait for this to warm up until I can pretty much burn myself with it. That's not a good judge, boys and girls. Don't do that. And let's not forget about the play button, which is over here. Now, one of the reasons that I like the idea of not washing out just yet, number one, washing out silicone is a horrible job and nobody should have to do it. But obviously it's kind of necessary at times. So yeah, first of all, it's a horrible job, and secondly, it's a lot easier to clear up once it's dry, weirdly. As long as it isn't on fabric, because if it's on fabric, it's going to be a nightmare, you'll never get it off. But if it's on flat surfaces like wood or countertops, plastic, metal, that sort of thing, it'll be absolutely fine. So I'm just going to leave it like that. But also the second major benefit of not clearing it up yet is so that you can have a look at it and see whether or not it's fixed or it's cured yet. That one hasn't. That one's still goopy. So that's all right. Don't worry about that. I've also got it all over the floor. Don't panic. It's wood, so it's fine. Right. This is the part I didn't really bank on. Okay. All right. So if you just give it a squeeze, hopefully it'll... Yeah, okay. So it's starting to come out. So what I'm going to do next is just to rearrange these pieces of wood in such a way that I can actually get to them. Now, unfortunately, because I haven't got very much cord on this hot glue gun, I'm going to have to just go with it. Okay. Now it doesn't need to be super tight or anything, it just needs to be strong enough that it's not going to cause a problem. Okay, so I'm going to do it along the short edge now as well, and then along the long edge, which is like that. And then hopefully that will be good enough that it will hold. I don't need it to be completely watertight or anything, because we'll reinforce the corners in a second. Let's just get rid of that for a moment. And then the same thing again, short edge, just one short edge and one long edge. That'll save you a bit of hot glue as well. I mean, if you want to do it in the different sort of traditional way, then that's absolutely fine. You can do, of course, but I just think this is easier. Let's just put that one back for a moment, because we're going to need it as close to as possible, as close to the mould itself as possible, I should say. Because you don't want to waste silicone. So we'll mix it up all a bit later on, and that should be absolutely fine. You know what, actually, I'm just going to leave that one in there, because there's no real point in taking it out. Okay, again, a short edge here. Are you not entertained? I feel like Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? You did say that, right? I'm going to get sued in a minute if I keep on saying that, or a copyright claim at least. Right, so that then goes against... Oh, I've done it upside down. Oh well, never mind. Hey ho. I'm just going to have to fill that with hot glue and hope that it sticks. Alrighty, I don't know whether you can see here. This... No, of course you can't. It's there. Yeah, there is actually a gap. Just there, which is not good. So I'm going to have to start filling that from the inside, ideally. And again, like I said, I don't actually have very much... yeah, I'll let that drip down, I think. I don't actually have very much cord to make that work, but never mind. I've also only got one stick of hot glue. So if this doesn't work, I don't know. Let's say it's Chivalrous Tube's fault. Everyone in agreement? Say aye. Say aye in the chat. Yeah, man. Let's blame Chivalrous Tube. Okay, I think that's fine. I think we're just going to need to squirt a little bit more. Just down there. Okay. Alright, I think that's probably enough. And then we just have to blob on enough of the glue on here. And at the moment, I'm running out of glue. So hopefully that'll be alright. Okay, and then we're just going to stick that, whoops, directly onto there. Now, the problem that I've got right now, and this is one of the reasons why I wouldn't typically do it like this, I guess. One of the problems that I've got, and I know you probably can't see it on the camera, is I've got some spider webs going on, which is definitely not what you want. Spider webs are effectively where the hot glue turns into very, very thin strands of hot glue, and they kind of look like spider webs. So you don't want spider webbing going on. Now the other problem that I've got right now is that nothing seems to be sticking to this, which is really horrible. I'm in the bed too. All right. Hard Boss 1M, hi. Hello. This is what I look like normally. Let's put me back up here. Now I'm going to have to solve a problem. I don't quite know how to solve it, so if anyone's got any ideas, that would be great. I'm trying to make a pouring spout for my Philosopher's Stone, and I don't quite know how to do it. I'm thinking maybe I just pour a whole ton of hot glue on top of it and sort of build it up from there, I guess. I don't know. Would have been quite good, I think, in hindsight, if I had made that out of Fimo or clay, polymer clay. That would have been good. Yeah, just in bed chilling out, it's all good. Yeah, everyone's in bed, actually, except me. Because I'm the only idiot that thinks that doing a YouTube channel on a Saturday morning is a good idea. Oh well. And if you've been watching this far, you'll know that I'm an idiot. Because I decided to saw some wood live with a handsaw. That wasn't very clever, was it? So, you know, whatever. Saves me taking it to the tip, doesn't it? So we've got this mould here. We are going to be using that to effectively make a Philosopher's Stone. So it should be fun. Should be good. Should be alright. I did do something a bit stupid, just so you know. Again, here it doesn't need to be that big. In fact, if I had a bit more glue, I would definitely rip this one off and then move it across and then move that whole thing closer to there. I'm not going to do that because I don't have enough hot glue, but hopefully it will work anyway, hopefully. I guess the main issue with this particular video, I wanted to be able to make the Philosopher's Stone and demold it in the same video, but unless you guys are willing to stay for like 2 or 3 hours while not an awful lot's happening, it's not really going to work. But what I do have, so don't panic, is another mould over here, which is why I decided to do that one first, and hopefully by the end of this video, by the end of doing this pour, we should maybe be able to get that one out. I don't know. It might also need to be done later, and if it is done later, again, not necessarily the end of the world, but I'll just do it on a different video, so that's cool. That's what Saturdays are for, what, laying in bed, yeah. Or doing YouTube videos. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, Laura. I'm guessing probably not the YouTube video, you just think I'm a bit mad doing this. I know that most people think I'm probably a bit mad doing this. Now, because I'm running low on the glue stick, I'm going to have to push it in like that, which is not ideal. Okay. Now again, this is spider webbing and I really don't want to do that. It almost acts like spinnerets. Can you see that? Probably can't. There you go. I'm not lying, it's true. It looks like cobwebs. So it's not ideal. Not ideal at all. Okay. Although I could have some really awesome cobwebs. There we go. When you get that sort of thing and you're just sort of creating cobwebs just like by pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, if you just pull really sharply like I just did, it should come apart. Hey, I've got an interesting fact for you about cobwebs as well if you want. At the Magic Castle in LA, where the Magic Circle or Magic, what do you call it? Yeah, Magic Castle, I suppose. It's a magic club called the Magic Castle. And what they have is like they've got their own, I think it's like a very large house. I don't think it's actually a castle. And they have a dungeon or a basement. And what they decided to do one year is to get some special effects, Hollywood special effects people in to spray it with cobwebs. And these cobwebs are so real, they were like full real spiders. You know, they were so real. And anyway, the night before they opened for their Halloween spectacular or spooktacular, they had the cleaners in, and the cleaners just cleared them all out, and it was like 10 grand's worth of cobwebs. I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. It's slowly turning into a Spider-Man channel. Yeah, it kind of is, I'll be honest. Okay, so now we have this little, very, very little, kind of pinnacle, what do they call it? Yeah, pinnacle? Pyramid, that's the word I was looking for. Just here. Hopefully you can see it. Can you see that? No, probably not. It's because it's grey. Everything's grey. Anyway, I'm building this up very, very slowly. And what I really want to happen is I want it to be big enough so that I can just pour something into it. Now, I'm not sure that's really going to work, but what we're going to try to do, I think, so hopefully that is now stuck. I'm now going to try and stick this brush to it. Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to work. But, you know, we'll see, we'll see. If I could... This might work, maybe. I'm going to try and glue these two together as a bit of support. Basically, I've just added a screwdriver. Now, if I can dot that on, and with any luck, that will glue nice and tight. It probably won't, but I'm just trying anything I can right now to get this working. It's going to be a bit precarious, I think. No, that's not going to work. Okay, let's try it that way. Oh. Okay, ow, that's hot too. Okay, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's try gluing that across there, and that one can go across there and glue onto there. Yeah, let's try that. Alright, I'm going to use... Right. Let's jam a screwdriver in there. It's just because I'm running out of hot glue here, guys. I didn't anticipate using quite as much as that on the box, but I did, so, you know, whatever. Okay. Alright. Are you having fun yet? Did they get fired? No, they did their job, so no one actually told them that it was fake spider webs. So no, they actually they didn't get fired. But they were told, next time, can you just check? I think the problem was that because the basement was hardly ever used, no one considered that it might be okay to leave it. So yeah, it wasn't ideal, but they didn't get fired. Okay, I think, you know what, I think that's probably going to work now. As long as that goes off and I can hold it there until it does, then I think we're good. So that's, I know it's been a bit of a marathon getting to this point, but we're there. So thank you for bearing with me. Now with any luck, this is all going to stay. It should be fine. I'm just going to have to... I would turn it off, but I don't want this to break, so hopefully it'll be alright. The good thing about hot glue as well is that I should be able to take this off. I like how you can only see red things. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Okay, I would, if I could, maybe, in fact I probably can. Let's see if I can put that there. Right, now this is not ideal, but I'm gluing all of my brushes and stuff to this, so hopefully this is going to work. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm just going to unplug and turn off because I don't want this dripping everywhere because it's super hot. Now I don't know whether you've seen in my previous videos, but I have actually burnt a hole in my hand before using a hot glue gun, and it really hurts. So yeah, try not to do that if you can. Did you just paint everything white and black for the illusion? No, I didn't. Well, including myself. No, I didn't. Okay, 4 people are watching now. Thank you ever so much for being with me. I do appreciate it a lot, if I'm honest, because I know this has been quite frustrating to probably watch. It's been certainly frustrating to make. So, let's see if I can just adjust that a little bit. There we go. And down. Okay, so yeah, I know it did hurt a lot. I'm just going to test out one more time just to see whether or not we can demold it. Oh, it's getting there. So this is why we don't clean out these things, because now you can tell that it's definitely not going to be able to be demolded. I'm probably going to demold the whole thing in about 2 hours, I would think. In the meantime, however, we do have another... Oh yeah, I don't want to get that over my work laptop. That would be bad. My boss would not like me. This is not my full-time job, just so you know. Okay. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is to mix up some silicone. I'm going to get rid of the monster clay because that did not work. That was rubbish. It got me over one hurdle last week. Didn't get me out of the hurdle this week at all. So what we're going to do in a moment, once that's all dry and I'm happy with it, we're going to spray it with some silicone spray, which is this thing, and then we're going to pour in the silicone itself. Now hopefully, it says on this thing, it says that it's okay to touch, so leaves a dry, touch-free finish within seconds. Do you believe that? Because I'm not sure I do. I'm probably not going to touch it anyway, and I wouldn't want to. But we're going to spray it anyway on here. I'm going to get up and I'm going to spray it over there, and hopefully it won't kill me in the meantime. It does say it's okay to use in food preparation areas. I don't know whether that means it's okay to eat it. It's probably just like an oil-based spray, I think. But it does say it's extremely flammable. Toxic to aquatic life. That's not a good sign. And children. What about children? child fish. Probably kill those as well. Okay, toxic to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. Brilliant. Keep out of reach of children. Great. Wear protective gloves. No. Read the label before use. I'm doing that. Keep away from heat or sparks or open flames or hot surfaces. Okay. Keep away from... Right, do not spray on an open flame or other ignition source. Wasn't going to do that anyway. Pressurised container, that's fine. Wash hands thoroughly after handling. No. May cause drowsiness or dizziness. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray this anyway, and then I'm going to pour, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. So that's going to be the end of the stream. So thank you ever so much for watching anyway. I think what I'm going to do is to actually demold this thing live on my live stream on Sunday. So if you want to see that, my live stream on Sunday is going to be at 6 p.m. Next week it's going to be on Saturday. So I'm going to shake things up a little bit and just see how it goes. But yeah, so at the moment it's going to be live streaming on Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time. And on Saturday it will be... what am I doing? Yeah, Saturday is going to be 6 p.m. I'll tell you close to the time anyway, so don't panic about that. I've got this little curl and it's really kind of annoying. Oh, never mind. Oh, you're off now, are you? Okay, bye. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to, spray this right now. And, well, no, I'm not. I'm going to mix up first, and then I'm going to spray, and then I'm going to hightail it. So I've got my exit button ready, and let me just, where is it? There we go. Sunday, 21st of June. Yeah, cool. It's ready to go. Ideal. Okay, so now I'm going to go and get my other pot of silicone, which it's around here. It's not quite here, but it is sort of here. So don't panic. I'm not going to go too far. You'll still be able to hear me. It's literally just down here, and in the meantime, you've got a lovely view of my bottom. Well done, you. Okay, here it is. This is my second pot, and I always knew that I was going to need two. So that's the catalyst, that's the base. Let's do this thing. Hopefully, I reckon 2/3 of that will probably work. Have a nice dream. Oh, thanks, man. Cake for everyone. I'm not quite sure what that means. Cake for everyone. I'd like some cake. You're going to email it to me? Or are you referring to the previous birthday video that I did for the channel? Because this channel is now over 1 year old. Woohoo! It's like a misbehaving teenager right now. I don't know, is that a thing? Okay. So again, let's pour this stuff into here. I think that should now be dry. Yeah, it is. Awesome. Good, 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 good. I like it when things come together. The only problem is now I don't have a mixing stick. I might have to just... Oh, that's really, really annoying. That's really, really, really annoying. In fact, I'll tell you what... I'm debating with myself as I'm talking out loud. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to leave the lid off that. Bad idea. Okay. Hopefully... Yeah, what I'd really like to do is to work out whether or not that is going to be cured, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because it's a live stream and because I'm not going to demold now anyway, I'm just going to leave this for hours and hours and hours. I'm just going to leave it for the rest of the day. So I had planned to be off by 12 because I want to go off, get some lunch and spend the rest of the day with my lovely wife. I think we're probably, at the maximum, we're going to be half an hour late. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do and where I'm going to pour it to, and then hopefully that'll be it. Very exciting. So I will just leave that silicone completely, and then I'll just clear up afterwards. So we don't actually need to worry about whether or not it's cured, because it will be cured by the time I come back, because I'm going to leave it so long. Okay, I'm going to move this again. Eventually, like I said, I really would like to be able to have a separate camera like this, so that I can actually have a top-down view. But in the meantime, this is just what we're going to have to do. So I'm going to break the illusion again. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So I think, yeah, we're going to need a bit more. This is going to be quite a big one, I think. And again, hopefully we can, whoops, come on, get off. Where did I leave that? Ooh, right. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. Because I did kind of anticipate, hey, you know what? I'm a sweaty old man. And I don't want to be sawing things by hand in jeans. In fact, my jeans are in the wash, so I'd be wearing thermals, which is even worse. Okay. Now this is what Chivalrous Tube meant about it being like a strawberry cheesecake, because it kind of is. Now I think I've probably used about 2/3 of the bottle of the base, which is the white stuff, so I'm going to use 2/3 of a bottle of this one, which is a little bit more. It doesn't matter too much about using too little catalyst now. As long as it goes off, it's not so bad. But the reason that I'm not too worried about it is because I'm going to be leaving it for longer. But we still want the chemical reaction to go ahead. Oh, I've definitely overfilled this thing. God, it's really tense, isn't it? This is such a tense moment. Now you've got a reasonable working time with this, because as you've seen on the other one, it doesn't go off immediately. Oops. Oh crap. See, this is why I always mark it as not suitable for children, these live shows, simply because if something like that happens, I have a propensity to swear, and honestly, crap is the least of your worries. I was just very, very glad that moment that I did spill the vodka all over my floor. I mean, vodka's not child-friendly as it is anyway, but the moment that I did spill that vodka over the floor, thankfully my microphone died, at least temporarily, just because of the sound of the bottle hitting it. But I'm glad the microphone died, because I've definitely overfilled this. Because I swore loudly, but thankfully the microphone didn't pick it up, so that was good. I think I'm just going to do really, really little ones now, in the hope that I'm not going to spill it. Once it's all thickened up, it's a lot harder to spill, but because the catalyst is so fluid and so viscous, that's a good word, it's much more likely to spill when the catalyst is still just sitting on top, so you need to mix it in properly. And the quickest and easiest way of doing that is just to almost whip it, but then you can add some air if you do that, so I'm trying not to do that either. Now what I'm going to be doing with the mould for the... oh, where's it gone? What I'm going to be doing with the mould for the play button, I'm going to be handing that over to my friend Chris Curlicues Allen, and she's going to be making the play button itself, so that should be cool. It's normally brown, but I agree. So what's actually brown? I don't know what's actually brown. I'm trying to keep up, but I actually got taken off the live chat. I think I accidentally clicked on something. Whoa! No, 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 no! That's not good. I actually did just spill it. I don't know whether you saw that. I'm just very glad that we haven't carpeted this room yet. I say we. I haven't carpeted this room yet. I know Laura won't care. She'll just be like, oh, you've wrecked your computer. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm literally, if I spill this, I'm only going to ruin my computer. I'm not going to ruin the room, because the room will be absolutely fine. Because once all this is cured, all you do is just pick it all up. So that's fine. Oh. Somebody at the door. How exciting. Probably just a takeaway. How are the sound levels, by the way? I keep on meaning to ask, but I completely forget. I think after all the hard work that Chivalrous Tube and I did on the sound levels, hopefully they're now okay. Oh, that seems to work without spilling it. That's good. I'll do that. So push rather than pull. So if you push down, everything else just rises up a little bit, but you don't get like the surge that you would if you were pulling it towards you. Having said that, on occasion you need to scrape the sides, and that's not always good. There we go. And then you can go actually a little bit quicker, which is good. I'm going to have that piece of tissue a little bit closer, because it's always that corner that seems to go. I don't want to pour this until it's properly mixed. So yeah, I was going to ask all of you guys, on Sunday I'm going to be animating How to Make an Elephant Disappear part, where are we now, 5 I guess? So if anyone's got any kind of ideas of ridiculous ways of making an elephant disappear, have a think about them now, suggest them on Sunday, and I will take them on board. And hopefully we'll choose one of them live, and I think it'll be really fun. Hopefully it'll be really fun. Because I think I did number 1 from memory. I think I did number 1 while Chivalrous Tube was on his private patron live stream thing that we did, and that was fun. I was laughing like crazy when I saw that. It was great. The background song is very quiet. You know what? That's a good thing, because I don't want it in the way. Although I could just do this. Is that any better or worse? Okay. 5 people watching now. Hello. If you are new here and you haven't said hello yet, please do. No obligation, of course. It'd just be nice. Okay. I'm thinking I probably need to explain what we're actually doing. If anyone's new here and they're just watching me stirring glue, this is actually silicone, and we're going to be casting it into this box in a moment. So hopefully you can, I don't know, can you see that? Probably not. So I'm going to just move the camera a little bit. There we go. So this is not just glue, and it's not just ASMR or anything gloopy and gunky and horrible sploshing stuff. It is actually a DIY. We're going to be making the second part to the Philosopher's Stone mould that we started last week. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. It's good the way it is now, unless you get annoyed with the song. No, I'm fine with it. I've been listening to it at that level all the time. It's just that I forgot to turn it on. Let's say no more about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just pour that into a corner. Let's see if I can... Whoa, almost spilled it, almost. Hopefully that's okay now. So I'm just going to pour that into a corner. And literally all I'm going to do is just leave that in the corner like that from a fairly decent height, because I don't want to get any air into it. And also it's going to go in one corner. Now this is the test to see whether or not it leaks. Hopefully it won't. I really, really hope it won't. And then that's pretty much it. Now that I've got that to that point... Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the spray. Oops. That's going to be a major, 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 major problem. I can't believe I did that. Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay, well, you know what? We're just going to have to roll with it, I guess, and I'll show you how to correct it. As if I knew what I was doing in the first place, which I clearly, obviously did not. Oh dear. Hello everyone. This is Neil Trigger from Real World Magic, being a total plonker. So okay, don't panic. There is a way around this. So what we're going to have to do is to do it as if it was intended to be like that in the first place. So we're going to have to cut it, basically. Is that because of air bubbles? Yes, it is. So you pour it in one corner just to make... No, you can't clear it out. Not now. I mean, I could do, but honestly, the amount of work to clean it out, you may as well just roll with it. Yeah, so definitely do use this in the future. I'm going to use this in the future, but I can't use it now. Oops. I've actually never ever used this stuff before, because I've never actually made a two-part mould before, but I do know how. Now, in theory, it may, because it was covered in dust after last week, I did cover it with kitchen foil, kitchen towel, this stuff. I did cover it with that just to make sure it didn't get too dusty, but by then it was quite dusty anyway. Now, the dust itself might act as a bit of this anyway, so it might just come apart. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to cut it out. And if I cut it out, again, not a major problem. I'm just going to have to work out how I'm going to do that. Hopefully, because there was a slight difference in colour, because last time I used a 50-50 solution of that, this time around I've used a slightly different mix. So hopefully the tone is going to be ever so slightly different, and that will then tell me where the mould line is, and I should just be able to prise it apart. If I can't, then I'm going to have to use a knife and cut it, and then we'll just roll with it. It does already have the brush embedded into it, like that, so that's all okay. It's literally just that final stage that I totally had a brain fart, because I'm thinking, alright, well, I'm going to go out now, because I'm going to leave in about 4 minutes. So, yeah, never mind, don't panic. I never pretended that I was a mould making professional. Never mind, don't panic, it's fine. Okay, the other good news is that the play button is setting. It's not quite there yet, but it is setting, so that's good. It's actually got a bit of a skin on top, so I think a couple of hours and that'll be fine. So I'm going to demold that one on next on the next live stream, which is going to be on Sunday. Thank you ever so much for coming, ever so much for joining in and chatting as you always do. You're always awesome. I'm going to get going now and console myself with the fact that I've just totally cocked up a 2-part mould. It's now almost certainly going to be a 1-part mould, and I'm going to have to cut that out using a knife, which is not perfect, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. So don't panic. I'm not panicking. I'm a bit annoyed at myself, but I'm not panicking. I would only panic if this thing leaks, so I'm not going to touch it. At the moment it's holding up-ish. There is a small leak there actually, exactly where I thought there probably would be. And the other side seems alright at the moment, so that's cool. As long as it doesn't pull too much, then that should be okay. I will keep an eye on it. I'm going out now, but I am definitely going to keep an eye on it. In fact, actually, what I could do is I could just draw a line around it using, what can I use? There is a pen just here. There's also a pen that is actually a shock pen, which looks like a pen but isn't. So I'm not going to use that one. This, I'm just going to quickly draw very tiny marks on it, and I'll show you in a second. Okay. Hopefully I can show you. Maybe I can't. Can I? No. Not easily. Yeah, so hopefully you can see this, but if you can't, there's a puddle around it right now. And I've basically drawn some marks around the puddle so that if it does spread, it'll cover up those marks. If the marks are there, I know that it's not spreading. If the marks are not there, I know that it is spreading and I need to do something about it. At the moment it's moving so slowly I can't actually tell. Yeah, it's spreading. Okay, great. That's not good. Okay, so don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. I'm just going to put a lump of kitchen roll there. And because that's there, what that will do is to increase the surface area of the silicon, which will then increase the speed at which it catalyses or goes firm. And then it should, in theory, form a skin, which will then bung up the hole. That's the theory. So it should work. If not, at least it will be there to mop up, so it should be okay. There's plenty of silicon in there anyway, so that I'm not too worried about, but I think I probably will just pour in a little bit more. Whoops. Because I have a little bit more. So I'm just going to pour the rest of it in. No, I'm not, because that's not properly mixed up. Yeah, this is why we have to scrape the sides, guys. Now, if you're going to learn anything from this one live stream, just remember that trying to cut corners and do things quickly, not a good idea. That's what the hand saw was all about, and that's what this mistake was all about. Just cutting corners is not a good idea, so don't do it. And then just pour that on top and it should be okay, I think. No, you know what, I'm going to stop that. That's enough. Enough of that silliness. Okay, hopefully that'll be enough. I'm going to get going now. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 6 PM. Cheers.
Very magical.